Welcome to The Explainer. You know, every business leader wants their technology to be a real competitive weapon. But what does that actually look like today? Well, we're diving right into that, breaking down a new report on intelligent infrastructure from Virtualization Options LLC. They're a Colorado-based research firm that really focuses on guiding executives through these kinds of big strategic shifts. And the topic? Something they're calling the hybrid AI cloud.
So let's just start with a really direct question. I want you to think about your company's technology right now. Is it a springboard? Something that's actually launching you ahead of the pack? Or is it more like an anchor, just weighing you down with old costs, slow processes, and constant security worries? Your answer to that really sets the stage for everything we're about to talk about.
Okay, so what is this hybrid AI cloud? Let's make it simple. It's basically a strategy to unify all of your technology. The servers in your own building, your private cloud, your public cloud accounts, and make them work as one single cohesive system. Then, you layer smart artificial intelligence over the top to manage it all. The result isn't just a bunch of separate parts. It's one intelligent engine that powers your entire business.
All right, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to look at the bottom line impact. Why should you even care? Then, we'll peel back the curtain a little and see how it all connects. After that, we'll jump into some real-world examples, and finally, we'll wrap up with the first concrete steps you can take to make this happen.
So, let's get right to what matters most, right? The business impact. The report really boils this down to three pillars that every single leader is thinking about: cost, speed, and security.
First up, cost. The report found that organizations using this model slashed their infrastructure costs by an average of 35%. And we're not just talking about trimming a few dollars here and there. This is about wiping out waste, because you have an intelligent system that automatically scales everything up or down, so you only pay for exactly what you need right when you need it. Next, speed. This is the ultimate competitive edge. We're seeing companies launch new products and services over 3 times faster. That's not just a small improvement, that's a total game changer in terms of agility, giving you the power to out-innovate your competition. And finally, security. This one's huge. With AI watching over the entire unified system, threat detection accuracy skyrockets by 95%. So why such a big jump? Well, it's because the AI can spot these really faint, complex patterns across your whole network, patterns that are basically invisible to human teams, and it stops those sophisticated attacks before they can do any real damage. And this chart, it just lays it all out, doesn't it? On the left, you've got that slow, step-by-step pace of traditional IT. And on the right, you see the super fast, rapid cycles you get with this new approach. This isn't just about going faster. This is about changing the fundamental rhythm of how your organization innovates.
Okay, so those benefits are pretty compelling. But you might be wondering, how does this whole thing actually work under the hood? Let's take a look at the big picture. And don't worry, we're going to keep this high level, no need to get lost in the technical weeds.
Let's clear something up right away, because this trips a lot of people up. Hybrid cloud is not the same thing as multi-cloud. Multi-cloud just means you're using services from more than one public cloud, but they're often totally separate, like different silos. Hybrid cloud is about true integration. It's about weaving your public and private clouds together into one seamless fabric. And that's the key that lets you move your work to the smartest place at any given time. So underneath it all, it's really just 3 simple building blocks. You've got compute. Think of that as the engine, the horsepower from all your different clouds and servers. Then there's storage. That's the warehouse for all your data. And finally, you have the network, which is like the secure nervous system that links everything together so it can act as one intelligent machine. Theory is great, but results are what really talk. So let's look at how this strategy is delivering some serious value in the real world. The report has 2 fantastic case studies we're going to check out. First up, a big global financial firm. Their challenge was a total classic, a mission-critical risk platform that had turned into an anchor. It was old, it was rigid, it was incredibly expensive to run, and it just couldn't keep up with today's volatile markets and new kinds of fraud. So what they did was really smart. They kept their most sensitive, core transactions tucked away safely in their super secure private cloud. But they connected that to the public cloud to take advantage of its massive AI firepower for fraud detection, and here's the magic part. An AI brain sat on top of it all, constantly deciding the best place for every single task to run to perfectly balance cost, speed, and compliance rules.
And the result? Well, this is the kind of number that gets everyone's attention in the boardroom. A 70% reduction in fraud-related losses. This wasn't just a technology project. This was a direct, massive boost to the company's bottom line.
Okay, now let's switch gears from finance to manufacturing. Here, the challenge was all about complexity. This company had 15 factories all over the world, but each one was basically its own little island, running on different aging technology. They had no way to see the big picture, which made it impossible to optimize their operations as a whole.
So they built a hybrid AI cloud that connected everything from the factory floor to the head office. And look what happened. Equipment effectiveness jumped 32%. That unplanned downtime, the stuff that just kills productivity, dropped by almost half. And they even cut their energy consumption by 12%. It's a perfect example of how this kind of intelligent infrastructure drives real, tangible results.
So we've seen the why, the how, and the real-world proof. Now for the most important part. How do you get started? This is all about moving from just understanding the idea to actually taking action.
The most important thing here is to see this as a journey, not a giant scary leap. The report lays out a really clear roadmap. You start with the foundation in the first 6 months or so. Set up your rules, run a small pilot project to learn, and get a quick win. From there, you expand by moving your first few apps. Then you optimize with AI. And eventually, you reach a state of transformation where your infrastructure starts to predict problems and run itself.
And please remember, the technology itself is only one piece of the puzzle. The report really hammers this home. Success truly depends on these organizational factors. You absolutely have to get executive sponsorship. You have to invest in your people's skills. You need to work in a more agile, iterative way. Embracing open standards is also key, so you don't get locked into one vendor. And most importantly, you have to constantly measure the business value and shout it from the rooftops. So we end right where we began, with a question to take back to your team. The message from the folks at Virtualization Options LLC is crystal clear. Your competitors are building their advantage on this kind of intelligent infrastructure. They're getting smarter, faster, and more efficient every single day. The only real question left is your infrastructure ready for that? Thanks for joining us on The Explainer.